Alright, so I'm booting UAE and I will load up my little game that I just ported to Amiga OS. And I have to be careful because it does have one major bug, and I'll demonstrate that at the end. And here we go. And we can tell this is an Amiga because the Amiga 1.3 mouse pointer. But everything else looks like DOS. I did my best to try and preserve everything the way it was. I was thinking of making a change to make it more Amiga-like, but maybe that's a project for another time. It does take a long time to modify these things. So I just went for a simple port. The initial port, the graphics didn't quite look right. If you want to see how that looks, check out the previous video. This tries to match up everything like the DOS version. I'll bring that up afterwards. I just want to kind of do a little game here and just show that it actually works. So I'm using High Speed Pascal on the Amiga 1.2 version, and it's very Turbo Pascal 5, let's say, compatible. It has the graph unit, which allows us to create graphics, and all the graphics commands that I needed are there. So the point of this game is to just line up 5 balls in a row, any direction. Let me just try and get one of these to line up. And it has to be, in order to do that, you have to move the balls in basically in a right path. If there's other balls blocking the way there, you can't reach it. Let's say I want to move this brown ball over here. There's no way to reach it, so I can't move it. If I want to move it here, let's say, it can move because there's a path. So that's how you play this game. Um, and you try to line up as many of these balls as possible. It gets harder as you start running out of places to move them. Let me see if I could try to line up. All right. So I'm going to cheat. I have a little cheat mode. So if I press C, now I can basically put balls wherever I like. So I've put one there that basically will line up. Let me just move that over here. There we go, right there. So I'm going to select it now and move it over. And see, as soon as I line them up, uh, it highlights them and removes them from the board, and then I get a few points. The longer they are, the more points I get. So if I line up something to be, uh, say, let's make this really long. So if I move it there now, I get a lot more points. Anyway, so one bug in this is that I believe it's the High Speed Pascal compiler. If you actually click in the window, it disables the keyboard input. So it's not it's not good to click because once I click, I can't exit. So, but if you do run the program and you click and you find out you can exit, you have to basically restart the whole emulator if you're using an emulator. If you're using this on a real Amiga, let me know how it works out. Anyway, so I just exited. Let's take a look at how big the actual program is. It's around almost 50K now with the additional changes I made. So this is slightly bigger than the DOS version. Let me just run the compiler. My little emulator setup here is turning to a big mess. I gotta find out where I put the compiler. There we go, right here. So if you're familiar with Turbo Pascal, it looks very similar. So let's just you can create new windows, and let's just write a little hello program. And if we go to run, there we go. Let's close the empty one, and we're good. Let me see if I could spot anything useful here. I wasn't using the IDE to develop the program. I just used the command line compiler. But you can set your location for your files here. So you can put where it compiles it to, your include path, object path, unit path, and some other stack memory. So all kinds of things you can set here. The manual is also available in PDF format. If you just Google it, you should be able to find it somewhere. So it's a fairly complete package if you want to do some retro programming. I found it pretty easy if you're used to Turbo Pascal again or Free Pascal, then this should look very familiar. Um, Let me just close this down and so what I ended up using it, there's also a command line compiler. And here we go. So this also allows you to specify your unit directories and include directories, and I find it easier to use this along with using Visual Studio Code. So I've done most of my changes in here, saved it, and then I would jump back to the compiler. And here, let me just show you exactly what I've been doing. So we specified the programming unit directory. So it's in my share, Fiveline, and my unit directory is also located in the same location. and to specify uh, the program to compile, same directory, and program source code. So you just saw that it quickly compiled it, and if we change that directory, we can see that it has the timestamp for right now, basically. Yep. So this is the program we just compiled right here. You can see the date matches up with the. So that's all I have for you. Let's just run it one more time. And let me just bring up the DOS one up so we can do a little comparison. So very similar. Let's do a little side by side. And so that's it for this video, and thanks for watching.